Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Manchester United Arsenal show. Man United podcast. Gonna talk from the Arsenal podcast, joined by the Arsenal representative. The Gonna Talk from the Arsenal podcast representative, TJ, is in the building. Make sure you check out his channel. The link's in the title. Click the link in the title, opens up a whole new tab. For those that haven't seen the show before, big up to all the regulars as well. I see you in the comment section already. Make sure you keep all your comments and questions Manchester United or Arsenal related, please, people. Hit that like button as well. Let's bump up those likes, please. Share across all of the socials as well, and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. So make sure you do that. Hit that like button, bump up those likes. Like I said, share across all the socials and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV, and super chat people to make sure your question gets read out. But I will get to all the best questions. TJ, first and foremost, before we get to all, all things football, how you doing, man? Everything good?
Bro, I'm great. Outside of football in my life, I could not complain one bit.
Love that.
Love that. So yeah, if I complained, I'd be an asshole. I'm not gonna lie. You good?
No,
you good
though?
Yeah, man,
good? I'm all blessed, man. All blessed. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same again. Can't really complain too tough outside of football. Football, whole different conversation. But yeah, can't complain. And I get to chop it up with great content creators like yourself. And big up to Hem as well, who just became a member of the channel. Yeah. Much appreciated. My overlap, became a Sarcasm citizen. A salute to you, Hem. Check out all the perks. And if you do indeed want to join the group chat on Instagram, because that is one of the perks, let me know. Just follow the @Sarcasm City TV on the gram. But as you can see from the title, people, criticism of Mikel Arteta recently, is it justified? Obviously with a question mark. Manchester United drawing Newcastle in the Carabao Cup as well. A lot's gone on with Arsenal. The draw in the North London derby, beating Brentford. Like I said, criticism of Mikel Arteta, criticism of Kai Havertz, criticism of other Arsenal players as well. And TJ is someone who's had plenty to say. He's been in the chat. He was tweeting about it. I was like, I know you're going to have so much to say on all things that have gone on in regards to Arsenal in the past week. So the floor is yours, TJ. The floor is yours.
Well, if you ever needed a cure for insomnia, just go back and watch that Brentford Arsenal game. If you have trouble sleeping, chat, go back and watch it. Because I'll tell you what, it'll put you right out. People who are trying to put lipstick on a pig of that game, of that victory, need to have their heads checked, okay? Like, literally, we got dominated. We were solid. The only reason we didn't lose was because Wissa and Mbeumo couldn't finish their dinner. They couldn't do it.
Okay.
They couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat, man. Like Brentford, and they played a very, very good lineup, right? Like there were some good performances in the Arsenal, but literally Brentford were all over us for a good amount of that game. They were. Yeah. I'm not going to gas up that performance, and I honestly can't criticize Arteta too much about the lineup that he was putting out there, just because he has to balance and he has to rotate. But I can say a little bit about who he continues to trust. And obviously that's Kai Havertz and
Sorry, that's just bad funny. I can question who you decide to trust. Kai Havertz first. It's a fair criticism. I understand. I do understand that.
It's one of those things where you're playing an AB Brentford side, and don't get me wrong, I'll give Brentford the credit where it's due. They are very difficult to play at home. They have a very good home record. It's tough to win there. But when you are playing the way that Kai Havertz and Eddie Nketiah are playing, which I think anemic is a compliment for the way that they play, it's tough to accept as an Arsenal fan with brains. You see Arsenal fans, and I'm going to dig out a lot of Arsenal fans today.
Get to it, man.
So, literally, so I saw on Twitter today, and then I'll get back to the game. I saw on Twitter,
it's cool,
that a kid with a blue check. He's a big Arsenal fan. He had probably about, I don't remember who it was, but he has like 1,500 followers, like more followers than I have on Twitter. He's like, I'm not tweeting again until Kai Havertz scores. I'm like, good. You might as well just take your Twitter down. Take it down. Go ahead and lessen the brain drain of Twitter, okay? One less stupid person on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because if you continue to rate this guy, if you continue to hold this guy, to think that this guy is Arsenal standard, we're finished.
Yeah,
we are finished as a club. And it's just that simple.
It's that simple.
And I'm not, guys, I am not an angry person, all right? Like, you ask anybody in my personal life, I am not angry. I am not an angry person. But watching Arsenal this season has been the least enjoyable victories and draws that I have ever been a part of.
Jesus.
Ever.
Jesus.
Like, come on, man. Like, how can you be encouraged by this? And there's still people that are out there giving Kai Havertz 7s and 8s. Like, no, seriously. Okay, so I did not see Kai Havertz have more than one forward pass yesterday. Can somebody tell me how many forward passes Kai Havertz has?
This is where we need a stat guy. But go on, carry on.
He's either going to the side or he's going backwards. He literally has a chance to score in the box, and he waits. There was a passage of play at the end of the first half where give credit to Nketiah crossed it across to him, and if he had just put it on his left foot and struck it, he had a wide open left side of the net. What did he do? He kicked it to his right and got swarmed in the box.
Hey.
And then he throws the most lackadaisical kick of the ball I've ever seen, and it hits the defender, gets cleared. Like, come on, guys. Like, do we really have to do this? Like, sell him now. I was asking who was it? I was asking Lewis in the chat on one of your streams. I was just like, is there a return policy? I don't want to read him.
Just return him. Just send him back.
Yeah, send him back. And you know what? I was going to say the same thing about Agent Jorginho, too, after the North London Derby, and I'm sure we're going to get into that.
Yeah, because people have asked questions about that, but go on, carry on. Big up Jez as well. Large up Jez.
Big up Jez. I'm not going to waste Jez, but I will waste the rest of his fan base later. Seriously, no, if it wasn't for Jorginho yesterday, I think Jorginho played well yesterday. He did make up for it. But again, it was the Carabao Cup. It was the first round of the Carabao Cup. And if we go farther in the cup, then I will start to rate Jorginho, because that's where he is going to regularly start. Okay, so he did play well yesterday. I will say that, but what he did in the North London Derby, there's no excuse for that. But yeah, man. As far as your first question, criticism of Arteta recently justified, it depends on where you're coming from. I mean, with me, he's on probation permanently. And the attacking
probation permanently.
No.
Before you carry on, let me just get to this real quick. Big up to DR for the super chat. Much appreciated, DR, man. Every single time, big up. He said this earlier as well. He says, flawless, big up for the daily content file. Big up TJ too. DR, 2 things. Big up for the super chat, first and foremost. Secondly, appreciate the kind words, man. So much appreciated, my guy. Salute. Absolutely. Big up. And like again, I said, people, TJ Warren TV, the link is in the title. You click the link, opens up a new tab. You can do that right now, whether you're watching this live or watch this back. Subscribe to his channel, and then you can hit the notification bell and find all of his socials. And Stephanie G, 2 things. 1, I don't know why you think it's my birthday. It's not. I don't know where you got that from. I just had to clarify that before we get into the show further. You know what I'm saying? Because, you're talking about birthday cake. I don't know why, Stephanie G. It's not my birthday. And secondly, Stephanie, if you want to be a mod, I didn't even realize you wasn't modded. Let me know, and I'll hit you with the mod status. But yeah, go on, carry on, TJ.
No, I was just to wrap up on the Arteta situation. I mean, he has been hampered by injuries. One of those injuries to Yuri and Timber, I directly blame him for, because he didn't pull him off in the first half of that Forest game. I blame him for that. But the rest of them, I mean, honestly, it's wear and tear. And what worries me about this is that we didn't, and where Arteta could partially be blamed, and Vinay and Edu, was that we do not have enough depth in this team, because we were always one injury away from Jorginho starting at CDM, and look what happened, right? Look what happened. So who knows how long Rice is going to be out? We are now missing 5 regular starters, and I am not including Trossard in that. Jesus. I'm not. We could run into Bournemouth. We could run into Bournemouth missing 5 starters. We are missing 4 against Spurs, which, Spurs get a draw. They're twerking like they beat us. Like, they're twerking so bad, I'm surprised they didn't throw out their back, some of these Spurs games. Like, it's unbelievable. Context does not matter to these people. Okay, context does not matter. Am I blaming it on the injuries? Sort of. But, how are you expecting to win when your two of your regular left wingers are out, and then you got to depend on Gabriel Jesus to play over there, and he hasn't played over there all season? Like, come on. He played over there for City, of course. He's capable of doing it, but come on. Really? Are we expecting to are you guys really going to hang your hat on beating an Arsenal that's missing 4 starters? Partey, Timber, Trossard, Martinelli. Like, are we really doing it? And a Bukayo Saka who's been on one leg?
I think where it comes from with Spurs fans wasn't so much because I think some were doing so much. I think it was the disrespect they was getting, not just from Arsenal fans, but also from others, that they were just going to get rolled over. Because the whole conversation has been about Spurs, which I actually think is unfair. Is, oh, look at who they've played. They should win those games. No, you still deserve credit for being who you should be. And then the whole, because I thought they was going to lose. Did I think they was going to go there and get rolled over? No, but people were talking. I just used Paul Merson. Yeah, I just use Paul Merson, for example. For those that don't know, former Arsenal player, he was on Sky Sports talking about, Arsenal are going to roll them over. 3-4-5-1. I'm sure the clip's out there. So,
everybody was saying that. AFTV was saying that. Lee Gunner was saying that. Like, and I love Lee. I'm a friend of Lee's. I really
that's my guy.
Lee is a real one. Lee is an absolute real one. But he put his neck out on the line and had to eat it.
Over. Yeah. Same way with the Gal. A lot of people.
A gal's been tagged in more Spurs fans videos than I care to even count.
This is what it is. Eddie's saying you're paying for the sins of others. Yeah.
Exactly. I've been paying for the sins of others since I spun up this YouTube channel, because it doesn't matter what badge you represent. A lot of people overgas it sometimes, and you got to pay for it. Like, I said something that got clipped. I said I said earlier in the season that we were going to do the double over Spurs. I had to pay for it. I didn't say we were going to beat them 5-0 though.
You did go over the top.
I think the way that Ange has them playing, and big up the Spurs players for stepping into that situation the way they did. They played very well. I am not going to say that we dominated that game. It was true. It was a draw in the true sense of the word, in my opinion. It really was. They didn't roll us over. We didn't roll them over. It was a draw. What was really, really, and why it's a draw, why it's disappointing for us, obviously it goes without saying, is that we have to win that game every single year. We have not lost 100%. That match since 2010. Okay. Jesus. We cannot lose that match. So drawing is the same as losing. And I feel that way. And I've been gutted all week about it. So
now, as you would, because it is a game, because records do matter in those type of things. And if a team, if especially your rival visiting has such a bad record, that's where your confidence comes from, even if they're in great form and you're in poor form. And I think it was a big test for Spurs, because had Spurs had lost that game, the whole conversation would have been, same old Spurs, quote unquote Spursy, still don't have it when the going gets tough, still gonna lose to Arsenal. So the fact that they drew, if I was a Spurs fan, I wouldn't be celebrating a draw. Is more so that we've actually come here and put in a performance and actually got a result. There's actually been some resilience. I can credit that to like Manchester United, because last season, for the first time in a long time, we actually had resilience. I'm going into games even if we're not the favorites, we can get something from this game because we're resilient as a team. And I think that's what it is with Spurs, with the goalkeeper Vicario, with Van der Ven, Adogi, and then you had Basuma, and you had Maddison and Sarr. It's like, okay, we have something. And the manager as well, which has given him that confidence. Because if that's Spurs of old, they lose that game.
And you 100%. And then you have I cannot believe I'm going to be bigging up Spurs as much as I am on this one. I was expecting to waste that. No, but Heung-min Son in number 9. Yeah. Unreal. Absolutely unreal player. I think that the culture that Ange Postecoglou has instituted at Spurs, and the captaincy of Heung-min Son is going to lift that team. I didn't have him make in Europe at the beginning of the season. I have him make in Europe now.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where they will dip, they will regress. Like, it is it's only a matter of time. They will dip in form at some point. But Ange really does have those guys spinning. And honestly, like, do you miss Harry Kane? Like, do a lot of Spurs fans that are missing Harry Kane?
Harry who?
Exactly.
Harry who?
Yeah.
I was told this guy was the Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
Spurs
look a
haven't
better
lost a
team
league
without him.
game. Unbeaten in 6.
Lost. Yeah, they haven't lost, have they? Jesus.
Nope. So yeah.
I'm to Mohammed, who says flawless. The Spurs better without Harry Kane. There's context to it, so don't get mistaken, people. I'm being like I'm over exaggerating to make a point. Harry Kane, of course, is a top quality player. However, it just goes to show when you have a manager and you buy well in the window and add to the quality you already have, you can overcome losing your best player because of what they've done. Signing Vicario, getting a Dogie, getting Van der Ven, getting Madison, and then you put that with Basuma and Sarr and Son and Kulusevski, and all of a sudden you got a team. All of a sudden, you have a functioning unit that can defend well and also transition the ball well and counter-attack and also attack well. Because they have quality players in those areas. Yes, they still have holes in their team, but it's the manager's first 6 games. So they're going to have holes. They're going to.
Yeah, and unfortunately for us, or people that don't like Tottenham, they have a very easy run out for their next 6 games. They really don't have a lot of adversity coming their way. So they're only going to keep cooking if they keep this momentum up. They don't have the League Cup to worry about. So they have 1 game a week until the FA Cup starts. Do you think like they really have no excuses? Like, obviously, set aside Liverpool for a minute because they are playing Liverpool this weekend. But after that, it's really not a hard run out for them. It really isn't. So
it really is.
Yeah.
Really not. Nah, that's facts. Let me get to some of the questions as well. Don't worry, I've been starring the best questions, people.
Yes,
do not worry about that as well. Big up Daniel, Doncaster Rovers. I don't think that's DR actually, Daniel. I think DR's new here, but big up to DR again for the super chat. Big up Daniel, Doncaster Rovers. I think they are 2 separate people as well. Stephanie G says, question for TJ, please. If Arteta left Arsenal for whatever reason, who would you like to manage instead and why? Thanks.
Realistically or like sky.
Let's go both. Let's go realistically and also like unrealistically.
Zidane. I would really want Zidane.
He got linked to Marseille today. I don't know how true that is. If Saudis take over Marseille, I did see that.
We need an attack.
Let's see.
We need an attacking manager. That's what we
need.
You
want someone offensive? Okay.
Yeah. So I want. Well, yeah. Well, we have some of the best. We have one of the best midfields in the Premier League when they're healthy, and one of the best and 2 of the best young wingers in the world, in my opinion. So, well, I don't think that's just my opinion. I just think that's a fact.
But you do have some quality.
I would want some. 100%. I would want Zidane. Like, please give me Zidane. Realistically, though, I don't even want to think about it because, say Arteta does get fired, right? I think a lot of things would have to go catastrophically wrong for Arteta to get the sack because I think the ownership here loves him. So unless you have people marching to the Emirates and shouting Wenger out like they did before, I don't think he's going anywhere. I really don't think that I've said this before, but the one thing that would get Arteta fired is not making Europe, not making Champions League, and not winning anything, and an early exit from the Champions League. That is the only way he gets sacked, and I don't think that's happening. I really don't. I don't think we're finishing out of the champ. I don't think we're finishing out of the Champions League spot.
Yeah, I don't think you're thinking you're finishing outside of the top 4, and I don't think you make it out of the group as well. Yeah. Yes, I do agree with those.
And to be clear, I said this earlier. I'll keep saying it. I'm Arteta on probation. I've said several times, we need to win a trophy this season or I am Arteta out, period. We have to start winning things. We have the most valuable team in the Premier League in terms of what we paid for these players. It's time to win. It's time to win.
You spent a lot of money on that squad.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money on that squad for him. Yeah.
We have 2 starting goaltenders.
Yeah, you do have 2 starting goalkeepers. That is true. That is very true.
So,
without doubt.
Big up Stephanie.
And large up to Stephanie every single time. I see you, Stephanie. I started your question before. Much love. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry. I won't tell no one. It's all love. And Warrior J says, seeing TJ's Twitter page, it looks like, and you lot, make sure you follow TJ on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitter as well. Like, that's me, flawless. Seeing TJ's Twitter page, it looks like you have something to say about Spurs fans and your fan base. What do you want to say to them? I know you touched on this before, but obviously, again, in regards to your own fan base and the Spurs fan base.
Well, my fan base, half of my fan base lives in reality. Half of them live in rainbows and butterflies world where we never win even when we lose, or we never lose even when we win, or whatever. I'm just so like, I'm just so done with the happy clapping that goes on. Big up Will Stewart, that's his thing. I'm so done with the happy clapping that goes on in this fan base where we draw to our rivals and people will still try to put a lipstick on a pig. We will play Brentford away, win 1-0 and get outshot 18-10, and they'll still say we had a good game. Like really? Like, we got away with one, if we're honest with ourselves in the League Cup.
Yeah.
We got away with one. And a lot of people have justified arguments that we got away with one in the North London Derby. I'm not going to go that far, but what I will say is we didn't really score. Nobody scored for Arsenal in open play in the North London Derby. Yeah. You got the Udogie own goal, and you got the Saka pen. It's not positive. None of this play outside of the PSV game that I've seen from Arsenal this season is overly positive.
Yeah,
And what I'm going to say about Spurs fans is, just remember your posture at the beginning of the season when you were screaming Daniel Levy out, and I really want to see change, and blah, 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 blah. And then he brings in Ange Postecoglou in, and he happens to have the secret sauce, the secret formula. But you cannot forget that your owners are still absolute thieves. They're only in it to turn that area of London into a theme park. You guys still have Beyonce coming twice a year. You guys still are Lady Gaga FC, F1 FC. You guys haven't won anything yet. You haven't won anything yet. And the only person that seems to realize that in your entire organization is your manager. So, yeah. And I'm not speaking about all Spurs fans. I'm not speaking about Jed.
You're saying some. The Spurs, if the shoe fits, wear it, basically, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that was a penalty, by the way. I'm not hearing any other arguments. Letter of the law, it was a penalty. I'm done with that whole conversation. Anyway, that was really it. And the twerking until their back broke thing. I had that written down. I had to say it.
Nah, that's first. Let's see what else you lot are saying. Plenty of questions flying in. Hey, large up everyone in the chat. Actually, before we continue, let's bump up these likes, people. First like check 1 2 1 2 1 2. There's over 65 of you lot in here. We're only at 27 likes. Let's get up to 50 likes. Hey, mods, get everybody liking and subscribing to the channel and unsubscribing as well. We're at 8,000. Let me refresh. It's around 2,000. What is it? 8,229, I think it is. I'm just refreshing now. Yes, 8,229.
That needs to turn to 4. That needs to turn to 4.
Yes, we need 11 more people. Yes. So there's over 60 of you lot in here, over 65 to be precise. And we are only asking for 11 subscribers. So hit the subscribe button if you are new. And also, if you're watching this back, big up to you as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and let's bump up the likes. Let's get us up to 50 likes as well, people. Make sure you do so as well. And continue to get your questions in. Please keep them Manchester United or Arsenal related. And of course, if you super chat, we'll get straight to your comment or question as well. Warrior J says, TJ, what's your view on the North London Derby? Are you frustrated with Arsenal in the second half?
I was frustrated with Arsenal from the 30th minute on.
Okay.
And then we didn't rear our head for the rest of that game until until injury time, and then we put the pressure on. We were cooking them, we were pressing them like a cheap suit until about the 33rd minute. And after that we just kind of died. Like, I'm absolutely frustrated with the way we played, and obviously a lot of that goes to Rice getting injured, and the momentum. You could feel the air kind of get sucked out of the Emirates when you see Jorginho coming on, because you know what that means. Rice is injured, and we are now struggling at the CDM position, and it costed us. Yeah. That was probably the most frustrating. That was probably the most frustrating passage of football I've watched in a while, where we score, we're on top of the world, and then Jorginho goes out there and puts down an absolute howler. Yeah, I think he's an agent for Chelsea. I am freaking done with this guy. He should not play another league game. We have Mo El-Neni back. Put Mo El-Neni in there.
Oh, you play El-Neni ahead of him.
At least he gives a shit. Like that's kind of my thing. Is it's like, look, I didn't expect Arteta to put El-Neni into the North London Derby. The man has not played a league game in almost a year. It might have been a full year. So I know that you're not going to put this guy right into the North London Derby. The perfect time to play him was in that League Cup game. But now you got to take a serious look at him because he did not put a foot wrong against Brentford. So if you're going to have Jorginho giving up cheap ones in the midfield, putting his head down, not paying attention, getting pressed and giving the ball up like that, we got to make some serious decisions, especially if we're going to have Partey and Rice injured. And that is awful. That just shows that our squad depth was 0. In reality, we were always one injury away. One injury away in any position. One injury to Gabriel or Saliba, we're looking at Kiwior and Tomiyasu. That's a big drop-off, guy.
I hear you. And Hem, big up for the super chat. Says big up Flawless and everyone in the cut later. Hey, large up Hem, man. Hopefully you watch the rest of the show back again. Big up for the super chat. Appreciate it. And big up. Hope you're blessed and everything. Yeah, go on, carry him.
100%. No, and it's just frustrating because you see the depth that we have at these positions in these League Cup games, and we're dead. We're absolutely dead. My guy Connor, and I saw Connor in the chat. Big up Connor every single time.
Big up Connor.
He gave me a stat yesterday when we were doing our match review. 10 players on the pitch had more touches in the final third than Kai Havertz did. And the only one that didn't was the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done with the excuses. I'm done. And the only sad part is, and I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent here.
Nah, it's cool, man. That's what you're here for, man. Get off your chest.
He gave Emile Smith-Rowe his start. Finally.
People are asking about him.
Guy. We want to see where this guy is, and he wasn't that good. He wasn't.
Okay.
He wasn't he just looked slow. He didn't look comfortable out there. So, now we're asking for another number 8 when we could have gone in for James Maddison, who's tearing up trees. Now we have Kai Havertz, ES and ESR, and Fabio Vieira, the Portuguese freaking scarecrow, who went right back to his old season form against Tottenham. I thought that he was arguably our worst player in the North London Derby. I cannot believe I haven't mentioned Vieira yet. I was gassing this guy up. Maybe he's just a bench merchant. He comes off the bench and he provides an injection. That's good if he wants to be that guy. But we need another number 8 then that'll actually start and do some damage. But Vieira played terribly. We got bullied in the midfield.
It was like that. Obviously, I didn't watch your game. So I didn't see any of this.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, and if anybody in the chat has a differing opinion, let me have it. But that guy was on the floor more than a freaking mop. Unbelievable. It was actually shocking. And you know what? I was gassing this guy up, but now I need to figure out. Now I need to call myself out and just be like, maybe I don't need to be so reactionary. Maybe give these guys more than 4 games. But with Havertz, I've seen 8 games and 3 years of average or below average.
Again, so I know what people just going to be nuts
by
it. It's nuts. What I'm saying, people just really just still going back, man. Still.
No, and when he scores, just watch this fan base explode. Yeah. And it could be
oh, he gonna score. And it's gonna be a big goal. The thing is, TJ, it's gonna be a big moment. It's either gonna be like a winning goal or against the top side. I was convinced he was gonna get the winner against Spurs. But guess what? It'll be like an assist against City. It'll be something like that.
Yeah, I know. And then it'll be an assist against City, and we'll get a draw, and it'll be like a draw. Right. And then we'll be like Spurs fans drawing away to Man City. I'm not looking for it. We're not winning against Man City. Give me a break. Rodri or no Rodri. The way this fan base was doing the freaking Macarena when Rodri got injured. It was like, oh, we got a chance. It's just like, no, you don't. No, we don't. We're still playing against fucking. Do you remember who manages that team? What are we talking about here? They have
This is
more
why.
depth than we could ever ask
This is
for.
why you're my guy though, because you're just super honest and you're not one of them guys. I see the Arsenal fans talking about it, like, yo, we have to beat them now.
Yo, we got a chance. Yo, we got a chance. And there's like, well, if Newcastle can beat them, they sat like how many of their starters? Like 7? Julian Alvarez was out there with a bunch of kids.
Yo, there was a guy on the right wing called Oscar Bob, a youth player.
Yeah.
It was
Who
Oscar
is
Bob.
that?
It was Oscar Bob.
And if you saw, like, look, and this is how I knew Guardiola did not give a shit about that, about dropping out of that. He did not care. He wants to repeat. He wants to go 4 in a row, and he wants to go 2 in a row in the Champions League.
Yes,
double. He was smiling at 90 minutes. He didn't care. He didn't care about the League Cup. And you know what? Teams like that who win all the time can dismiss small trophies like that when they are when you know they are bang on contenders to win the league and they are bang on contenders to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Arsenal, we don't have that privilege because we haven't won anything since 2020.
Yeah, Lee said it's the longest time. Is it the longest time?
Longest trophy drought. I think it's
in a decade, is it?
In a decade.
Yeah, in a decade. He said that to me earlier on today. Make sure you check out the show on his channel as well. Right. Yeah, he said that.
And I see Lewis in the chat. Lewis, I'm going to package up Kai Havertz and I'm sending him to your doorstep. I'm done with this.
He said, he said no refunds, and he also said
no
March.
refunds. No, I don't care. I don't need a refund. I will pay for the return shipping. Bro is dead. It's
so bad. And yeah, Warrior J, I've seen that you said this before. Lewis mentioned this in regards to the March madness that Kai Havertz has. Yeah, it's nuts. And yo, you lot crazy, Camille. Who called Nketiah the cardio Deshane from Summer House? That's funny, yo. That's disrespectful to Deshane. But you said that,
don't do Deshane like that. Do not.
Deshane, my guy. You know what I'm saying? That is funny. That is funny though. That is definitely funny.
That's hilarious.
Big up Mohammed. Actually, there was another question I wanted to get to from Mohammed. Yeah. I missed it, but you mentioned something, Mohammed, in regard. Oh yeah, here it is. It's not that Mohammed, the other Mohammed, who's Mohammed Hassan. Big up to you, says Flawless. Do you think Ten Hag starts Garnacho? I want to see the same team. I feel Garnacho is ready to overtake Rashford's position. Do I think he starts Garnacho against Crystal Palace? No. I think Rashford goes back into the team. I do agree with you, though. I want to see the exact same team because that team deserves to start again. They performed very well. Therefore, they should keep their place on merit. Like 110%. In regards to Garnacho ready to overtake Rashford, slow down with that because Garnacho started the first 2 games of the season. And he was not the only one, but he was bad. And people were not calling for him to be dropped. Do I think he's better off the bench? Yes. But the performance against Crystal Palace in the League Cup was very mature. The very mature performance, took his goal well, was a constant threat. So he deserves to start. And I said this about Garnacho currently right now. As he is as a player, I think he's best off the bench. But I think if he just needs to improve his overall game. But guess what? He's like 18, 19. He's got ample time to improve. He's got so much to like learn and so much experience to gain playing. Like I think this is his first full season because he didn't even start the season for us last season. He got put into the squad later on. So this is his first full season as a professional. And like I said, he's 18, 19, but he has the raw attributes of He has all the attributes, of a Premier League winger and being successful here because he's electric and he's direct and he's confident. Like he's supremely confident. I never once have seen Garnacho hide, even whether he's playing terribly or whether he's playing well. Like he always wants the ball. And big up to Lewis who says our dress has changed. But yeah, I'd relax on him ready to overtake Rashford. You know what I'm saying? I'll relax on that. I don't think he's ready to take that position, but on current form, he should. But hey, you never know with this manager, man. You never know. Got ripped by a Mount Twitter for doing gun fingers on a fan cam. Wait, what? When did you do gun fingers on a fan cam, fam? You need to clarify that. Like, I want to know. I was Northside on Rancy Stream. Shout out to Northside as well.
Big up Northside.
That's crazy. Every single time, man. Large on Northside.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he hilarious. He absolutely hilarious. Yeah, continue to bump up the likes.
You guys,
people in it.
You guys had me cracking up on Lee Gunner's show this morning. I was listening to it on the way to work. You guys had me dying, bro.
Make sure you check that out, people. That's on Lee Gunner's channel. It's Lee Gunner, Saeed, Northside, and myself. That's every Thursday, 1 p.m. people, 1 p.m. UK time, that is. So make sure you check that out as well. But yeah, I just relax on Garnacho in regards to him starting games, but he should definitely start against Palace. And unfortunately, he won't start against Palace because I believe the manager will bring Rashford back in, which is the incorrect decision. Shouldn't do that. He shouldn't do that. Big up to Stephen for the super chat. Big up. He says, flawless. I told you Sancho was a disgrace. No one above the team or manager. Want to see Rashford dropped and Garnacho starting in the league. Big up. Big up for the super chat, first and foremost. Secondly, Sancho's not a disgrace. No one's above the team or the manager. He hasn't said he's above the team or the manager. I don't know how you've gauged that, Stephen, that Sancho has put himself above the team or the manager. I'll say it before, I'll say it again. Anywhere you critique, you can be critiqued. That's what happened. The manager said something publicly, he responded publicly. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Manager title, CEO, DOF, head scout, T-lady, kitman, assistant manager, first team coach. It doesn't matter. Forget your title. I keep saying this. The reason why I'm not criticizing Sancho, because I would have done the exact same thing. If you criticize me publicly in front of millions of people, I am going to respond back publicly. Now, like I've said before, Ten Hag could be 110% right in regards to the actual criticism of Jadon Sancho. The big issue that I have with it is him saying it publicly. Don't say anything. So he's not a disgrace. People just want him to be passive. Guess what? He's clearly, I don't know his character, but he's clearly not a passive character. And I understand that because I'm not a passive character when it comes to this type of thing. He ain't criticizing me publicly and I don't say anything. Nah. Especially when there's clearly been a disconnect in their working relationship. So you know there's already some, can't say dislike, but they're not fond of each other. I'll say that. And they're both happy with the resolution. In regards to wanting to see Rashford dropped, I agree with that. And that's any player. That's insert Manchester United player here who's not playing well. If you're not playing well, drop them. In regards to Garnacho starting in the league, I do agree with that too. Hopefully, Garnacho starts against Palace on Saturday. However, do I believe he does? Probably not. And that's a mistake on the manager. If he does not play, I want to see the exact same team. Like, it's crazy. And who's you man talking about gun fingers? What's going on? Well, Lewis, what happened, yo? What happened that you was doing gun fingers? Because people do gun fingers. I do gun fingers when I dance.
I do.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
do it at the beginning of every stream.
Show me do that.
The Shooter McGavin, man. Shooter McGavin. What happened?
Yeah, I really want to know, Lewis. Let me know in regards to that. And you lot can. So yes, to Stephen, no, I disagree that he's a disgrace. That's way too far.
If you got dragged out in the media by your boss, would you just lay down? Like, ask yourself that question.
Some people would.
Some people would. Other people care about how they're perceived and don't want to be dragged out or be made into a bitch. Sorry. It is.
And that's legit. It is like, because I've seen people use that as an argument as well as a TJ. Well, such and such a manager called out such and such a player, and then he didn't respond. But I go, that's his decision. If let's say me and TJ are teammates at a professional club, and the manager calls me out publicly, and I don't say anything, I'm well within my right in not saying anything. The manager then the next week calls out TJ publicly, and then he responds on Twitter. Guess what? TJ is well within his right to do that. Just because I didn't respond doesn't mean TJ shouldn't respond. It's each to their own. You know what I'm saying? And that it's each to their own in regards to how you respond to disrespect or criticism or whatever. And Sancho, I've seen people say, "Oh, it's not that deep. It's not you. It's not you who's been pushed. It's not you who's been slapped. That's Sancho. He feels a way about it, and he's well within his right to feel a way about it. I get it. I fully get it." And T always says it depends what type of work you're in. Are you talking about the Sancho thing, T? Before I respond to that, I'm not sure if you're responding to that. I'm not, but yeah, like again, it's each to their own in regards to that. People are different. That's what I would say. Flawless Lewis changed his Twitter name to Carefree Lewis Gunfinger. That's funny, yo. That's funny. Oh my god.
No.
Oh
man.
Carefree Lewis Gunfinger, by the way. All right, Lewis, I'm gonna check that out after the show still. 1 second. I'm gonna check out the link. I won't do it now, but I'm gonna check out the link after the show. I've actually just clicked the link, so I'm gonna check that out. But you lot continue to get your questions in as well. Just please keep them Manchester United or Arsenal related as well. Anything you want to add as well, TJ, too, about the North London derby that we've not spoken?
I mean, we better win this weekend. That's all I'm going to say. And if we win,
Bournemouth at home, right?
Yeah, Bournemouth. I think we're away.
Is that away at Bournemouth? Okay.
Let me look. I don't even remember. I honestly had to give myself a break after that match yesterday because I'm serious, man. Sometimes this club is toxic. We're away. Yeah, sometimes this club is toxic, man, and the fan base. It's tough. It's tough for people that live in reality to swallow a lot of what it says. And maybe I just need to take down my Twitter. But the problem is I need to plug my shit, so I can't. But it's one of those things where, you know, it is what it is. North London Derby, we didn't play well enough to win. That's the long and the short of it. And you can blame pretty much every player on the pitch for that. One player that I think is not getting called out enough too, by the way, is Ben White. Ben White did not play well in the North London Derby. Did not play well. So on that first Son goal, okay, and it shouldn't have gone to this. And people were blaming Raya for it. Oh, well, he was in a bad position or he played it wrong. No, he was under pressure in the box, and he was in. And they had three of their guys in our box, and they scored with a world class number 9 in Heung-min Son. Okay, so that passage of play, I've watched it like 3 times, and I get angrier every single time. Is we had 2 chances to clear our box, and we didn't do it. We had, I think it was Rice first. He tried to head it out. It got knocked back in. White, same thing. Tried to kicked it out to the edge of the box. I forget who was on the left there. I think it was Ben Johnson. Yeah, Ben Johnson on the left, hits it to Son. Son, perfect deflection in, goal. Like, they deserve that goal because we didn't clear our lines. Just kick it out. Kick it to the sideline. Kick it behind the net. Give them a corner. Do something. Yeah. Do something to get it out of our box, and we didn't do it. We were under pressure. So Ben White and Rice, average performances. And I want to big up Declan Rice. I want to every single time. But he has not been above average outside of the Newcastle or the Man United game. I really don't believe that. I really think he has been average or slightly above. And when you pay £100 million for a player, you expect 7s and 8s every game. This is big Arsenal. This is not West Ham United. This is big Arsenal.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? We have expectations here, period. And if we pay 110, record signing 110 million pounds, you clear the ball. Like, you are expected. I was calling this guy a future Arsenal captain. And he's injured. He's been struggling with calf and back injuries. And now we're looking at playing Jorginho against Bournemouth, possibly playing him against Lens. People are crying out for us to rest him when it's just like, we have Champions League and Premier League. We paid 10 million pounds or 110 million pounds for this guy to play, not to sit on the bench or not to be in the recovery room. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the North London Derby, because, you know, there were very few players that really stuck out for me outside of Bukayo Saka. Man, I can't believe I'm going to say this too. Zinchenko played well. He was carrying the ball forward too. And I never compliment Zinchenko. You know, it's not great when Zinchenko is one of your best defenders, moving the ball forward. Yeah. Saliba was good too. I will give it to Saliba as well. But Zinchenko was actually causing things to happen. And I never compliment Zinchenko, ever. So that's how you know it was a bad game. That was it. It was a bad game, and Spurs played well enough to draw us. That's it.
No, fairs. And big up to DR as well, who just became a Sarcasm citizen. Much appreciated, man. You know what I'm saying? 2 members. Big up DR, man. Just became a member of the channel. Check out all the perks, DR. And if you want to join the group chat on Instagram, which all the members are, because if you're a member at any level, whether that's a Sarcasm citizen, Sarcasm City soldier, or a general, let me know, people. But yeah, Sarcasm, you're a Sarcasm citizen. Much appreciate you joining the membership. And that's being said to anyone in regards to the membership, if there's a perk that would make you sign up, let me know, and I will try and add that in, people, if it is plausible. So let me know if there's an in particular perk, like 110%, and I will add it, whether it's at the first tier, the second tier, or the third tier. I will add I will add it. I think that's how the Instagram chat came about. Actually, people
was
people asking, and then a couple people joined because of it. So that's what it is. But all the members are in there. But yeah, again, DR, big up for joining
that
the
chat. And
membership.
by the way, Flawless, I'm gonna just start making that chat as like really toxic. I don't think it's toxic.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah,
you said this.
I'm gonna start poking people. Yeah, it's not active enough for me. It's time to start rattling some cages.
It's because you got all types. You got United fans in there, Arsenal fans in there,
it's
Chelsea
all
fans in
comers.
there. Yeah, you got a lot of different fans in there as well. So yeah, people feel free. No TO, there's not a Twitter chat. No, it's just on the gram. It's just on the gram. The reason why I didn't do it on Twitter, because at the time we were setting it up, it was because they had the DM, they had the limits on the DM. I don't even know if they've still got them. Remember when Elon Musk was doing that nonsense and he was limiting DMs?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was that type of thing. Yeah, well, I know it was a real thing in regards to on the timeline, so we just went with Instagram. So yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, make sure you follow at Sarcasm City TV on Twitter and Instagram as well. And yeah, FPL, like Black Diamond mentioned, if you want to join the Sarcasm City TV FPL, let us know, people, as well. And I'll drop the code in the chat. I will drop the code in the chat. I think there's like 35, 36 people in there. But yeah,
there's
I need
a lot
to
of people in there,
have
and
a
I
look.
am garbage.
You low down the table?
Oh, I am. Yeah, I'm middling.
Nah,
mid off most of the season.
Nah,
I'm just gonna check that. Yeah, I'm in 27th. Jeez.
Jesus, how many people are in there? How many people are in the league?
You got 41.
Is it 41? Jeez, I need to actually double check.
Yeah, and you know,
I just said,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I just set it up to my bad. I just set it up to I just set it up and then left it. So I've not even checked it since I set it up. So I just left the team and then did it.
I figured you haven't been looking at it because you're near the bottom. You're near the bottom.
I should be bottom of the league because I just all random it. I'm not bottom of the league. How?
You're not bottom of the league. No,
that's crazy.
You got two below.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know it's bad when I have been paying attention and I'm losing to Minerals FC and United Spurs of America. So yeah, I need to pick up real quick. Otherwise, it's gonna be prime banter the entire time. Not only is my Premier League team losing, my freaking Sarcasm City TV Fantasy League team is losing. It's brutal.
Oh, that's brutal. Nuts. And Dia, I just seen that you followed the Instagram on social, so I'll get to it. And to V1, who says, I'll get to this before we get to older guy performance. And this is just a classic. And V1, you're my guy. You know this because we're cool. You always super chat and stuff, which I much appreciate. But you say, Sancho is Ravel Morrison all over again. No, it's not even close. How he's won this, he's actually, Ravel Morrison, don't get it mistaken, was a top quality talent for those that don't know. Like, for those that don't know, Ravel Morrison was in the same class with Pogba and Lingard in regards to the youth players. And they said, and it was well known, that he was the best player on there. For those that know, when I do work with From a Third Eye View, obviously Stroh's been on here many a times. JV's been on here many times. They're both my bros still. They both personally know him. So they know, like, it was known from, like, young, like, from when he was a teenager, that he was a special talent. But the reason why this is so incorrect is because Sancho's been elsewhere and actually had success. Ravel Morrison hasn't. Like, let's stop doing this just because he had a disagreement with the manager. That's all it is. And you know what? You are going to disagree with managers. It's going to happen. So to call him Ravel Morrison is crazy. And to my knowledge, I don't think Ravel Morrison ever had an issue with a manager like that in terms of publicly. So what are we doing here? Sancho will be fine. He'll leave the club in January, and I'm fully backing that he will be successful elsewhere. You know why? Because I've already seen him be successful elsewhere. I watched him go to Dortmund and have a successful stint. From an individual standpoint, I'm not sure if they won a trophy when he was there. I'm not sure. I don't think they won a Bundesliga, but I'm talking like a Pokal Cup or something. I'm actually going to check his honors. I'm sure he has some individual honors. He's probably won there in regards to in the Bundesliga at Dortmund as well. So he's already achieved. He's already played his part in successful like Champions League runs in regards to getting through to the last stages. So let's not do that. Sancho still have very, very good talent. Don't get him mistaken, people. And he's still got time to improve. That's the crazy part. So let's not do too much. Let's not do too much. And we're at 45 likes. Scales up to 50 likes. Scales up to 50 likes, people. 5 more. And hit the subscribe button as well, man. Scales to 8,240. We're 9 short, people. We are 9 short of 8,240. Let's see what else is going on here.
Chat is wild.
I'm saying. And yeah, Jez is crazy. I just seen this. Man said, I said the limit is gone. I'd be seeing Beyonce. Oh, I'd be sending Beyonce over 100 messages a day, and still no, and still no limit on me. Still no reply. One day, Jez, man, she gonna respond one day. You know what I'm saying? She gonna respond one day. Keep shooting, man.
Jez, persistence is key, bro. Persistence is key.
Jez is persistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, just this is why when people say, like, I use this as a prime example, and I always use Jez and Cam. Jez with Beyonce and Cam with Selena Gomez. When people say, "Oh well, what do you want?" You know what I'm saying? People like, for Manchester United, what do you want? And it's like, one, and what's plausible and reasonable is a whole different thing. You said it. You know what I'm saying? If Arteta is to leave, you want Zidane. Yeah, and just wants Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? And that it's not going to happen. I wanted James Maddison at my club, and he went Spurs. These things happen. What are we doing here? I wanted McTominay and Maguire to leave, yet they're still here, people. That's just what it is. But yeah, it's that shout out to Jez. V1 says, which club takes him on his wages in January? So what you're saying, somebody. Who? Exactly, I don't know. But somebody's taking him. Because by this logic, then, what you're saying is we're going to keep him. So Manchester United, so V1, by your logic, big up again for the super chat. We're going to keep him and have him not playing for the rest of his contract. Who does that benefit? It don't benefit Sancho. It don't benefit the team. Don't benefit Ten Hag. Don't benefit the manager. They will figure that out. He's not the first person in regards to big money. So even if it's a loan, and Manchester United have to pay 50% or 80%, or he takes a pay cut. The point that I'm making is Sancho is going to leave. Where to? I don't know. But I can see him going. Germany is plausible. Spain is plausible. They're the two ones I look at. Because I think his game style suits those down to the T. So what you're telling me, V1, basically, is no, he's going to be here forever. Or till his contract runs out. Come on, man. Let's just use our brains and let's just use common sense on it. Like, come on. In regards to, does his wages limit where he can go? Yes, but on the wages, don't you think Manchester United want to clear those wages off the books to use them elsewhere? Because we've cleared a lot of money off the wages in the past 2 to 3 years. We've cleared a lot of our biggest earners have left. A hell of a lot. When you look at Ronaldo, look at Pogba, you look at Lingard, Matic, Mato, Cavani, De Gea. That's 7 of our top earners right there. If you actually count it up, that's a lot of money. I'm just asking, can you give us a name? Is that all? He's been linked to Barcelona. Barcelona can pay his wages alone. Fact. And they go 50-50. They go 50-50. Yes. So I'm asking you, can you give me a name that is all? Yes, Barcelona, because that's who he's been linked to. But my point is, somebody you're making out like, oh, which club takes him on his wages in January? Like, no, somebody's going to take him. Like, again, if you don't like Sancho, that's cool. But it's like, let's not act like other clubs are not going to take him. Somebody said PSG. PSG's a shout.
It is a shout. Well, yeah, and you can't tell me Dortmund wouldn't take him back either. Like, there are plenty of suitors out there.
There's enough. He's talented enough and young enough to the point where clubs will go, you know what? I'll take the punt. If I need a certain player, I would definitely look at Jadon Sancho with a chip on his shoulder and probably for cheap. Yeah. T.O. says broke alone and can't pay his wages, man. You know what? They always pay, like, people say they're broke, but yet they still sign players.
They always find a way.
They always find a way, man. They always find, like, are they not being charged with
I saw that, but I didn't read into it. I don't know what it was. Yeah, but they're saying that their ownership could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and to Marshall says common sense. We don't do that in the Twitter era. Flawless game with them. My bad, Marshall. You right. I forgot in it. I forgot. I did. You know what? You right. This is why I like the chat, because you lot pull me up when I be being crazy. Yeah. When, like, common sense. Like, I remember I was talking about something on Monday United. And what did I say? I said something about Manchester United doing something sensible. And then someone popped in the chat and was like, yo, Flawless, you're my guy. But Manchester United being sensible. Come on, bro. And I was like, he's right. I was like, you right.
You're right.
I can't even argue with him. I was like, you right. You right. To me, 3099 says, nah, they don't need Sancho. That's on them. The point that I'm making is there's clubs who are interested in him in terms of rumors. Somebody's going to take him. Who? I don't know. Because I don't follow teams outside of the Premier League like that to know who needs a left winger or a right winger or a 10 or where he'd fit. All I can tell you is the same rumors I've heard of you. I've heard Dortmund and I've heard Barcelona. They're the 2 teams I've heard. PSG, somebody said in the chat, makes sense from what I've seen. It makes sense. United couldn't afford to sign Amrabat outright last window, Flawless. Do you agree United overpaid twice when signing players in the past, both transfer fee and wages? Madness, in my opinion. Yes, Stephanie G. Manchester United complain about Manchester United tax. And the reason why Manchester United tax is a thing is because of Manchester United. Because we refuse to walk away from deals. Say it all the time, walk away from deals. Because if you start walking away from deals and get that reputation of playing hardball, then teams are going to be like, all right, take the first offer. When teams see Manchester United on the horizon, or they want one of our players, yeah, double the price. Double the price. Add 30% onto the price. And same way with players as well. All right, I want 200K. Are United room for me? Yeah, bump that to 275. Because they know they're highly likely to pay it. Like, that's what it is. V1 says he's very talented, but his wages are insane. Yeah, he is on big money. And if he leaves permanently, he'll probably have to take a wage cut. But I think he's taken this into consideration. I don't think he'll get a permanent move in January. I think he'll be a loan. And then I think he gets moved on in the summer. Very similar to Martial. Yeah. Very similar to Martial when he got the move to Sevilla. And people were saying the same thing in regards to the money he was on. I don't know how much of his wages Manchester United paid in terms of percentage, but they would have paid a certain amount. Same with Sancho. Even if we have to pay 50%, they just want him out. And I think he wants to go as well. Like, that's just legit what it is. All right, let's see what else you love.
Flawless, can I answer this question?
Yeah. Get to it.
Do you believe Alicia Russo is better than Scott McTominay? Yes, and I do believe that Beth Mead is better than Eddie Nketiah. So sub them both in. Give the ladies a chance.
You lot jokers on my life. Warrior J says, TJ, your thoughts on Arsenal's next Carabao Cup opponents. Who did you lot get again?
Oh, we got West Ham.
West Ham, is it at your place or their place?
West Ham at the London Stadium. We got West Ham at the London Stadium. Rice goes home. I don't think we start Rice in that game though, to be honest. It is what it is. We should be able to beat them, and we should be taking this competition seriously. So if we are going to take these competitions seriously, we should do a strong starting 11. I'm not saying we start every single one of our starting 11, no, but we should be able. With our starting 11, we should be able to go in there and beat West Ham if West Ham also is going to be resting players, because West Ham has to worry about Europa League too. So it's one of those things where we are actually playing another league team that's in a European competition. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what the starting 11 is. But, I expect Arsenal to win every game. So when they don't, I'm upset, and I will call Arteta out for certain things or certain players for certain things, just because my expectation level is like way up here. Yes, I think we're way better overall from a starting 11 perspective than West Ham is. But West Ham, you got to give Moise, his flowers.
Moise, yeah. Moise
and they've done very, very good business with that Rice money. So you got James Ward-Prowse in there, freaking absolutely ripping up trees. Moussa Diaby, like Jesus. These are players we should have gotten. But yeah, anyway, this is what it is. Moise. Yeah.
Say it in the Moise. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Shout out my like Moise.
Yeah.
Let's see what it is. Blood Diamond, you crazy. I get to the question, don't worry about it, man. Yeah, I get to it. I still don't get this thing with his dog, but we move. But hey, before we continue, there's over 90 people locked in right now. Big up to you, over 90 of you locked in. We're only at 49 likes. Let's get us up to 70 likes, people. Hit that like button if you haven't. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV as well. With the subscriber goal, it's 8,240. We're at 8,233. We're looking for 7 more subscribers. So if you've not hit the subscribe button, make sure you do. And on top of that, make sure you subscribe to TJ's channel, TJ Warren TV. The link is in the title. Click the link, opens up a new tab right now, and you can subscribe to his channel as well. And just quickly as well, because obviously people talking about Barcelona and
oh yeah, I did mess that up. Diaby is Villa. Yep, I messed that up. Eagle MMA. Thanks. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, this is Chinese. We all make errors. Barca are paying Felix 40K for the season. They actually can't afford him. Not if we say, all right, we'll pay X amount and you pay X amount. So they can afford him. That's the whole point of a loan deal. And whoever's negotiating with Manchester United for Jadon Sancho is negotiating from a position of power. We may end up paying 100% of his wages. We may pay 80%. It may be 60%. It may be 50-50. The point I'm making is he will be moved on in January. Unless there is some miraculous turnaround from both Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho. But I don't see it happening. I really, really, really don't see it happening. I think that the relationship is broken beyond repair. I really think it is. I really think so. And Black Diamond, I know he said, I've been asking TJ, this question all evening. We'll ask one more time. How important is the dog called win to the dressing room harmony? This guy running back.
I don't
So
know.
I get to it.
I don't. I just don't. I don't get what the feel good thing is. You know, here's the thing: is you don't need a dog called win. You just need to win.
Just win.
And the dressing room harmony will be just fine. This is such a PR. We call them P Arsenal. This is a P Arsenal move. This like big up the dog, because I heard the dog's owners died, and so the Arsenal players took him in. You know, no, I did read that, and you know what? Good for Arsenal for giving the dog a home. But do we really need to be trotting him out in front of the cameras? It makes us look like a joke. That's why Don Dada is actually bringing it up, because he knows it's going to set me off. I think it's an absolute joke. If you want to adopt a dog and keep it at freaking Eddie and Kedia's house, because that's all he's good for, is caring for the dog. He's probably the one that walks it around the pitch, because he sure as hell isn't focusing on his finishing. So there you go. Yeah, I know. And then Don Dad, I know you're taking the piss. I freaking love you though, bro.
Shout out Black Diamond every single time. I see you lot in the chat as well. Big up. Let's see what else you lot are saying here as well. One sec. Someone said something else in Sancho. You lot it's crazy. Like this Sancho thing. It's nuts. But yeah, it's great for content. It is great for content.
No. So it's never stops for you guys.
Never. So Rondo Red says Sancho needs to man up and say he's sorry or asked to be sold. How do you know he's not been asked to be sold? Again, word to Peter, people don't know what they don't know. How do we know that Sancho has not been asked to be sold? How do we know that? There's nothing to think he has or he hasn't. So who said that? We know he's not going to say sorry, because he's not. It's not a question of manning up. He's standing on his principles. So he's not said sorry. But people need to stop this. And I see this a lot. Like whether it's, especially with the Sancho thing, is people just stating opinions like it's facts. Has to be. How do we know he could have asked to be sold the day it happened? And before he clicked tweet on his response, he could have literally hit his agent and been like, yo, tell these man I want to leave. Again, we don't know. He could have been told, like when people say, oh, he's definitely a bad trainer. We are not in training. We don't know. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he has. I'm simply saying we do not know. But in regards to saying sorry, forget that. Don't need to say sorry. Say sorry for what? For criticizing, for responding back to something publicly, in the public. What are we doing here? What? Huh? What? I don't know what. I don't know where that is at. I really don't get that. Big up to Harif, says big up Flawless, love the content. Much appreciated, man. Big up to everyone in the chat. Glad you enjoy the content, Harif, man. Big up. Stephanie G says, TJ, if Spurs finish above Arsenal in the Premier League, but both qualify for the Champions League, is it Arteta out for you?
Depends on if we won anything. Did we win anything? Did we win anything? Big up Harif too, dude. Sorry about your hockey team, bro. I saw you're Toronto Maple Leafs fan. But yeah, no, Stephanie, it depends. It depends on because Spurs could be on their way out. Like Spurs' success doesn't necessarily equal Arsenal's decline. Like Spurs finishing above Arsenal is not a trophy for so if Arsenal finish above Spurs, it is not a trophy for Arsenal. If Spurs finish above Arsenal, it is a trophy for Spurs, because Spurs fans always say, oh, well, we finished above you in the league like the last 5 years. That's not a trophy. What'd you win? Oh, nothing? Cool. We at least have an FA Cup. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't care where Spurs finish as long as it's not first and as long as they don't win anything. I do not care.
All right, no, that's fair. I'm saying, and Toronto Red said, why would Ten Hag want to keep a player if they want to leave then? Again, you're presuming things. Does Ten Hag want to keep Sancho? Because from what I've seen, this is just from the outside looking in. Ten Hag doesn't want him to stay. Sancho don't want to stay. That seems to be the thing. That's what I'm gauging from. They both happy with the resolution. I don't think people, one, I said this, I keep saying this. I think there's two things with this scenario. One, people don't like how they reach the resolution. And two, people don't like the resolution. I don't mind it. I actually think it's best for all parties. We should have sold Jadon Sancho in the summer, in my opinion, because he was never going to be successful here. I said it all summer long. There's shows of me on the Man United Gonna Talk, the summer window. The playlist is on the channel, and I'm talking about it. Whether it's with TJ, whether it's with Cam, whether it's one of the other crossovers I do, the Chelsea Spurs one, the Liverpool one, or the Man United's by themselves. I'm with Ivorian, I'm with Eddie, or I'm doing it solo dolo. I said all summer long, move him on. He's not going to be successful here. I don't think Ten Hag wanted to keep him. I don't think he did. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, we didn't move him on. And now this has just further been a breakdown of their relationship. But like I said, like I always say, once Sancho leaves, we will find out everything that's going on. Because Sancho going to do an interview talking about it eventually. It might even be after his playing career is finished. I hope it's straight after. I genuinely want to know what happened. Genuinely want to know. Hey, big up Talking Ball as well, who says, love from a Spurs YouTuber. Hey, big up, man. Much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, like that's just legit what it is. Like with the Sancho and Ten Hag scenario, they've reached a resolution. He's not around. Ten Hag's cool with it, and Sancho's cool with it from the outside looking in. Because if Sancho really wanted to be around and play, guess what? He'd say sorry. And if Ten Hag wanted him to play, he'd just ring him and be like, all right, let's just sort this out. They're cool. There's been a breakdown in relationship with them two, and that's cool. It happens. But hey, we move.
Facts.
We move. Let's see what else you lot are saying. Warrior Jay, this is a good question. I've seen people mention this, and you've mentioned this before as well. Do you think Arsenal is not the same team like last season?
No, we're not. Not at all.
I've seen other people say this actually.
No, we're not. I mean, at least from a points perspective, where I think we're 3 behind where we were before. Especially, I don't know where we are after that draw, but just in terms of our ability to score goals, we're not even close to where we were last season. When I was watching the beginning of last season, I was encouraged because we were scoring. Like if we went behind, you knew that we were gonna score, or if we went behind, you knew it was because we were pressing so much we got countered and we got scored against. Here, I really don't see, again, outside of PSV, I don't see that same attacking prowess, and I don't know why that is. I really don't. Like,
because it's the same team. That's what I'm saying.
It is essentially the same team, and you bolster it with you bolster the CDM position with Rice there and Partey, right? So in reality, you like a healthy Declan Rice and a healthy Partey, you can get the ball upfield and feel secure at the back. We haven't had them healthy, and when we did have them healthy, you were playing Partey at right back, inverting into the midfield with a back 3. Like it's just not the same formation, and I think Arteta is still trying to figure it out. With Granit Xhaka, you knew what you were getting every single game. He was very consistent last season up until the end when the whole team seemed to run out of gas. But with these players, there's a good amount of there's enough new players in this team or enough new blood that Arteta has to consider in Kai Havertz and Declan Rice that there's a difference. And I honestly think I'm going to keep saying this, as long as Arteta keeps trying to shoehorn Havertz into this lineup, we're going to continue to see the same anemic attack.
Yeah, in his defense, he has dropped him though, because he hasn't played in your last 2-3 Premier. I think the penny's dropped for him.
Last 2,
I think so.
Last 2, and he's coming out as a sub, and he's coming out as a sub and still look dead.
Yeah, because he's not good.
But but you still have people in this fan base giving him a 7 coming off the bench.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Big up V1 for the super chat. Much appreciated, my guy. Says, what if we want to move him on, but no one wants him? Who's Sancho? Do you believe that, V1? That's like every player. Like I say, so you're telling me this play? Wait, so let's get to perspective. This is such a what's the word I'm looking for? This is such a so unrealistic. That's the word I'm gonna go with. So you're telling me there's suitors out there for Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay, but not Jadon Sancho? There's players out there in the Championship who have suitors. There's players in League 1 and League 2 who get moves. But you telling me Jadon Sancho, nobody? Come on, man. So I don't understand this question. If we want to move him on, he'll get worse players before Jadon Sancho have left this football club. Worse players after him will leave this football club. So yes, this is just not. I don't understand this. This is just doing too much, V1. That's what this is. This is just doing way too much. Worst players left this club in the summer. De Gea is a worse player than him. De Gea is the prime example of that. This applies to De Gea. That's why he's still without a club now. This applies to David De Gea. Jadon Sancho is not David De Gea. Sancho will get a move. It may not be to a top club, but what I'm saying is he will get a move. So I'm confused by the question. But big up for the super chat, man. Big up. But he's not David De Gea, which I believe he's still without a club, right? And he's the same guy some of our fan base was saying was the guy to lead us to trophies and titles. Like, you put it into perspective, same way people saying keep Ronaldo, he's the guy, and then he ended up in Saudi Arabia because it was his only option. Don't act like he could have carried on. It's not like a Mahrez who was at City who could carry on, or a Mo Salah who's at Liverpool, and if he moves on, he could stay at Liverpool and still be successful. Like, oh, he was done, man. People just don't want to accept it with a De Gea and with a De Gea and with Cristiano Ronaldo. Harif says, can you ask TJ who he'd rather as our number 9, Tony or Osherman, or would he be okay getting someone like Ferguson next summer?
I want Tony so bad. I want Tony so bad. Tony is absolutely cold. He's played in England before, and I know people are going to say, oh, well, you know, Premier League proven merchant, whatever. No, I want a guy that I know is going to be guaranteed to bag goals for Arsenal. That's why I want Tony. Do I rate Osman? Absolutely. What a player. What an absolute player. But if you were to give me the choice, the pragmatic side of my brain says, give me Tony because I know he can score. I've seen him score. I've seen him score a lot in the English league. I've seen him score a lot in the Premier League. The guy is an absolute baller. He's Premier League proven. Bring him in. And obviously, if we go into Ferguson, is he better than Eddie Nketiah? That is where the floor is. That is where we are.
He's better than Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah. So what are we? Would I be okay? I'd be ecstatic. You could see me popping bottles on this stream if we signed any of those guys. Flawless would have to reel me in more than he already has. Big up Harif.
Get it. Yeah, big up Harif every single time. It's a V1 who says, oh shit, I thought it's Thursday? Yeah, new Brilliant Idiots. Let's go. Sorry, side note, I just got a notification. V1 says, where is the links to Sancho to another? That's my favorite podcast, man. Listening to it for years. Love Brilliant Idiots. It's great, man. It's A1. Where is the links to Sancho to another club? He's been linked to Barcelona. Have you not seen it, V1? I don't know how reliable the source is because I've not checked it, but he's been linked to Barcelona. And there's another club as well, but the chat will let me know. Hey, chat, let me and V1 know and TJ know as well who he's been linked to and the sources as well. But he's been linked to Barcelona. In the summer, he was linked to Chelsea. He was linked to Chelsea in the summer. So that's 2 off the top of the head. And there's more.
Everybody's
so, yeah, in regards to whom it is, he was legit linked to Chelsea. So, yes, my point still stands is Sancho will get a move. If you try to move him on, he'll get a move. Yeah, Harif, anytime, man. He says big up. Oh, yeah, Dortmund. That's it. How the hell can't I fight? Yeah, you got linked to Dortmund.
I said that.
So that's
I said that.
Yeah, you said it, Dortmund. How could I forget? So you got linked to Dortmund and you got linked to Barcelona. So that's 2 off the top of the dome. How reliable the sources are, I don't know. I didn't pay it too much mind. And Harif, yeah, man, big up to y'all for answering the question. Of course, man. Of course. Good questions we'll get to, man. We will get to. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, Rondo Red. West Ham wanted Harry Maguire. Like, what are we talking about? What are we doing? Like, come on, man. Like,
you know what they say? Another man's trash is another man's. Well, with Harry Maguire, it's still trash. But you know, they wanted him.
Yeah, they wanted him. Like, legit. I made bids for him. I'm McTominay. Like, what we watched Manchester United accept one and reject the other. Yeah, we crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Man just gotta stop treating him like he's David De Gea. He'll get a move. He's not gonna retire from the game. He's not gonna be out. Someone's gonna go, you know what, Jadon Sancho, yeah? Because worse players than him are currently playing. Currently right now. Yeah, see what else you lot say. So yeah, before we close out, prediction for the weekend. What are you telling me, TJ? Prediction. Actually, before we get into prediction, what team, your lineup actually, your ideal 11, what would you like to see?
My ideal with the
your 11 with the injuries. Yeah.
Oh, it's looking bad for us. Zinchenko on the or Ray and goal against Bournemouth. Ray and goal. Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, White. If Rice is out, Mo Elneny. I want Elneny to start. And I think that Bournemouth is the perfect team for him to start against. Because we don't have anybody else. And man, I really just wasn't convinced by ESR. I'll go Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira left side at 8. Odegaard. It's looking long. We're gonna be. It's essentially going to be the same team that we played against Spurs, only without Declan Rice. So you got Jesus on the left, Eddie up top because we have nobody else, and on the right we got. Saka looks like he might be injured too, so we might have to go with Reece Nelson.
They're saying Saka might be injured.
Yep. He wasn't on the bench in Bournemouth or at Brentford. He wasn't on the bench.
So your front three could be Reece Nelson, Nketiah, or Jesus.
Yes.
And then off the bench backing that up is Smith Rowe.
Yeah. They played some kid from the academy on the right.
Jesus.
Like, no, they had this guy Sago Jr. who didn't play well, but it was his first ever game in the first team. You can't really blame him for it. He just wasn't up for the occasion. But we are playing and big up Arteta for playing the kids in those kinds of games. Like, as long as we don't lose, I don't mind it. But that is how thin we are right now. We will have Jesus on the left and Nketiah up top and freaking Reece Nelson on the right. Reece Nelson played well against Brentford, though. He ran his ass off and scored the goal. But like, that's the level that we're at right now is Reece Nelson and we're said we need.
Yeah, and Reece said we need Trossard starting. Trossard's injured too. Trossard's injured too.
Big up, Stephanie. Thank you very much.
Yeah, large up to Stephanie just said, just sub to your channel, TJ. Big up. Hey, the link's in the title, people. One of the mods put the link in the comment section as well. TJ Warren TV. Go subscribe. Go make sure you do that. Click the link in the title. Opens up a new tab, and then that way you can subscribe and go follow all of his socials as well. Big up to Daniel in the chat. Says good luck to everyone's team in the chat at the weekend. Can't wait for my night out in Barrow after we make it free. League wins on the bounce. For those that don't know, Daniel's a Doncaster Rovers fan, so shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? We have a close bond because we both can't stand Leeds, so big up to him. And I hope you enjoy it. One, you get your win for Doncaster Rovers, and two, enjoy the night out in Barrow, man. Enjoy. Yeah. And to T.O. who says, do you rate Sancho as a player flawless? Absolutely. He's super talented. I've said this all along. I will never, ever question that man's talent. But just because you're talented doesn't mean it translates to productivity and being effective on a football pitch for whatever reason. There's various reasons. There's many talented players that I've criticized for not being productive enough. Head honcho of that is João Felix, who is super talented. But guess what? You have to produce. And with Jadon Sancho, I said it all summer long, he's not a modern day Premier League winger. So unless he's going to play central, which from when we're signing Mount and we're signing Amrabat and we're signing Højlund, and he's behind Rashford and Garnacho on the left, he's behind Anthony Palestri on the right, he's not going to get game time like that. So we should have moved him on. You have someone and clearly the manager don't rate him anyway. So get some money for him, and then we could have got a replacement, and then we'd probably be we would be in a better predicament because we now have a player we can't use, rather than have someone who could. Let's say the winger we replaced him with, our attacking player, was decent. Decent helps our attack so much because our attack is not good. So I'd say to that, Jazz says, TJ, who do you prefer at goalkeeper, Raya or Ramsdale?
Right now, Raya looks very confident in the box, calm. Didn't get down when he got scored on. I don't consider either of the Spurs goals his fault. He was left out to dry against one of the best number 9s in the world, or one of the best finishers in the world, in my opinion, in Heung-min Son. So I think he provides a very much a calming presence, where you kind of saw it against Brentford too, where Ramsdale is just a little bit he's a little erratic. I like Ramsdale, and I appreciate what he's done for the club. He's been a great servant to the club, but if he is not up to number 1 standards, which the manager doesn't think he is right now, and we got to trust the manager, unfortunately, in some cases, Ray is the guy. Like, Ray really hasn't put a foot wrong, in my opinion. And so until he does, I'm not going to. Ramsdale arguably has. Like, getting caught off his line against Fulham, there's really no excuse for that. He got caught off his line in the Europa League, and that ended up costing us. Like, the fact that he loses concentration, Southampton last year being another example as well, it has costed this team points and tournament matches. So until Raya does something like that, I'm Raya in 100%.
Yeah, there you go. That's fair. That's fair enough. Let's see what else you lot are saying as well. Big up Prime in the chat. Yeah, Prime, catch that on playback in regards to TJ spoke about, obviously, the Arsenal injuries and everything, and it being a problem. We're literally just speaking about it right now, and he's going through his lineup. Big up Minerals FC. Hey, Big up Minerals FC. Is it you who's in the FPL? Let me know, just out of interest. Flawless, bro. Ten Hag is right to treat Sancho like that because he's the boss. If you call out your boss, you're fired. Sancho is a bitch. He doesn't have the minerals. I don't even know what that means. the last part in regards to he doesn't have the minerals. So I'm just gonna bypass that, but I just had to read it out. Firstly, no one's again. People love doing this in the comment section. If you call out your boss, you're fired. Who said that's not who said that's not the correct thing? I've never once said that Ten Hag is wrong for responding to the response. I've never said that. I'm saying, of course, you know that. If you call out your boss, of course you are. And the thing is, he's cool with that. That's the thing is that people don't understand. Jadon Sancho was cool with that because if he really wanted to be in and around the squad, he would apologize. He's refusing to, and rightfully so. I wouldn't. So yeah, of course, Sancho knew when he responded, the manager's not going to like it. Don't you think he was fully aware of this? It's not a foolish guy. That's just common sense. If you call out your boss, I've called out my bosses before at many different places. You think I'm unaware when I get called into the office? And I'd be on the same smoke. I feel the other. Oh, you lose your job? Fuck the job. I'm saying because I paid X amount. There's no amount of money you can pay me to disrespect me. Must be crazy. Like some people can be bought like that. I'm not being bought like that. Never. Oh, I've seen people say that. Oh, it's 350K a week. Just get on with it. So if I pay you 350K a week, I can call you whatever I want to call you. Is what you're telling me. You can be bought. You're basically a prostitute. That's prostitution. You know what I'm saying, like that's what it is. That is like you pay a prostitute X amount and you can do whatever you want to from a physical standpoint. But this is just verbal. So I can verbally abuse you and you won't say nothing for X amount. You're a verbal prostitute then. That's what you are. Like, you should own, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? Like 350K a week's a lot of money, but hey, we move. We move. So yeah. I'm sure Sancho was fully aware of the repercussions of it. But yeah, big up me 309. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, I remember Minerals FC going on Lewis's channel. Nah, he joins occasionally. He does. I don't even know who he supports.
He's all over. He's an Arsenal fan. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Minerals.
I thought it was Chelsea.
All over the place. Big up Minerals.
Okay.
No, it's not Johnny Minerals. It's Minerals FC. He talks like Johnny though. He has the Johnny swagger.
Right. Okay. And yeah, Daniel, of course, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing brings football fans together rather than hating on
mutual
rivals.
Hate.
Yeah, mutual hate. That's why me and Lewis get along so well because we have all the same ups. Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Arsenal, Leeds. Yeah, those two. You know what I'm saying? We have legit all the main ups. The only thing we did, they have their thing with City because of the whole Champions League and stuff like that. Obviously, United fan out like that's three. The only up that we have that Liverpool, they don't like that's just legit. It's only Spurs. That's the only one. So that's why that's why me and Lewis are so cool. Like initially, that's where it stemmed from. We're just rather than bantering each other, bantering teams we don't like. That's what it was. Especially with the City thing.
Yeah.
Big up Daniel as well. Yeah, Daniel, you know what it is. You and Hassam says me. Yeah, shout out Hassam every time. No, I'm not talking about Stamford Bridge Prime. You wildin'. Like, yeah. But people doing too much with that. But we're gonna close out anyway.
Yes.
Love to everyone that's locked in. Before we do prediction for your game away at Bournemouth, and you lot play away at Lens on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, prediction for both.
3-1 away at Bournemouth. I don't care how shallow we are depth wise. We need to be winning these games away. Period. So 3-1. I'm going 3-1 Arsenal. For Lons, I mean, really, it depends on who we start. I would expect the same lineup or around the same lineup in the same match. And away, we're terrible. So I'm just hoping for a 1-0. Away in Europe, we're terrible, and I've waxed lyrical about this on this channel before. We're terrible in Europe, so as long as we get a win, I don't care.
Just get a win.
I don't care what it is. Get a win.
So you're saying 1-0 for both, yeah?
1-0. I'm going 3-1 away at Bournemouth, and then I would take a 2-1, but 1-0 away in the Champions League.
All right, first.
What about you? What are you saying? What are you saying for this weekend? Who you guys?
Yeah, we play at home against Palace. I think we win 2-0. I think we beat Palace 2-0. And then the game at home to Galatasaray. I go the same. I go 2-0. It's very dependent on the lineups, but yeah, I'll say 2-0 in both. I'm confident. And we actually got some momentum and are playing well. And I'm just having a look here because you got United Galatasaray on Tuesday. And people, obviously, if TJ's around, I may move the show next week from Thursday night to the Tuesday night since we both play. And then move the Liverpool show crossover to the Thursday night because they, they're Europa League duns. You know what I'm saying? They play in that second tier European stuff in it. So any Liverpool fans hold that. get back in the champs. So yeah, just keep a lookout. But me and TJ will talk about that anyway. But TJ, anything you want to add? And on top of that, let them know where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Bro, no, again, thank you. I look forward to this show every week. It's a lot of fun. And we have the best chat on YouTube. Like, this chat has been absolutely wild. So big everybody up. Again, TJ Warren TV. If you have not smashed a sub, smash a sub. Go over there. Do me a favor. We're on like 533 or something like that. Subs.
Hey man, get him up to 600 subscribers, man. Get him up to 600 subscribers.
Let's go. Yeah, makes Thursday night all the better for sure. So yeah, we got tomorrow. I'll be on the Staffy TV. Another Man United guy. Doing some predictions. And then I have our normal American Idiot show, 9 p.m. UK. We're going to have Jez Collins from Lee Gunners watch alongs, streams, and Jez is the reason I started on YouTube. So big up Jez. And we have Oregon Gooner Dal. We're doing the 30th episode of the American Idiot Show. So come through.
Make sure you do so. Links in the title, people. TJ Warren TV. You catch us here every Thursday at midnight UK time. However, that may change next week because of the Champions League. Because I was just looking at it and I was like, you know what? It makes sense. So me and TJ are looking at it. Are you about next week Tuesday after the game?
We got to talk about that. I'll let you know what I got.
Yeah. We'll talk it. Yeah. We'll talk off air, but just keep a lookout. If not people, it will be Thursday nights, but just keep a lookout. Don't forget, we are available on all audio platforms as well, people. SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV, and this show and all the other shows on the YouTube channel, apart from watch alongs, are available on audio only platforms. So if you want to listen while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're driving, while you're at work, you may be at the gym, you may be traveling about, you don't want YouTube sucking up your data, you may just prefer to listen to podcasts in audio only platforms. So SoundCloud, here's with the follow, please. Spotify, all you Android users, if you get your music on there and or listen to podcasts on there, Spotify, follow us, 5-star us, the Sarcasm City TV. And all you iPhone users, iTunes, Apple Podcast, follow us, 5-star us, please. Hit the like button on this video, whether you're watching live right now, watching this back, subscribe as well. And make sure you follow the Sarcasm City TV kick, because we got content over there coming up, including the Spurs Liverpool game that'll be there on Saturday, as well as Canelo Charlo as well. I'm going to do a Canelo Charlo watch along, so that'll be on there too, as well as a recap. Well, love to everyone that has indeed locked in. Big up, man. T.O. I see you, says bless up everyone. Talk and ball as well. Let's see what else you lot are saying. And I wanted to get to this. It's all good, Stephanie G. I know, everyone knows, yeah. This is your favorite channel. It's cool. We all know. She said, my bad, Flawless. I'm imagining things again. Proper mod material. Would love to Flawless. Not happy birthday. No cake, just likes and subs for the best channel on YouTube. Don't tell anyone, though, our secret. Love every single time, Stephanie G. You already know what it is. But yes, love to everybody who has locked in. Big up. And this has been, actually, let me check who's actually live. If no one's live, I'm just going to send you lot to the Managerial United tomorrow, which will be midnight tomorrow, myself and Eddie, who I need to talk to. But just keep a lookout on the schedule anyway. You already know what it is with my Don Eddie every single time. Oh no, Alam's live, so we're gonna raid my guy Alam. He's doing In the Motion football, Lions at the Packers watch along, NFL. So make sure you go in the chat, people. When you go over there, I need you to hit the like button on Alam's video, subscribe, and just put Sarcasm City Raid in capital letters. I'd love to everyone that's locked in. This has been the Manchester United Arsenal show, Managerial United podcast. Going to talk from the Arsenal podcast on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.